All right, man. Torch us up. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. Hey, listen. I want to talk about Black Panther 2 and the issue I have with Marvel as of late. I seen Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and I seen Thor Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi. I think that this is the downward trajectory of Marvel Studios. I think that Marvel is at this point in their cinematic universe, they're at the lowest point in their cinematic universe. I think that their movies are not as good as they were, and I think they overdid it in doing too many of them. As far as Black Panther 2 goes, they're gonna run off the hype of Chadwick passing away, and I believe that they're gonna point a female to be the Black Panther. Now, I don't have a problem with the female being Black Panther. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem is you only using it as a tokenization, or you only doing it to please social justice warriors. That's it. It's only for a virtual signal. I don't believe that they're making the female, if they do this, I'm not saying they did, or I'm saying they are, because I don't know. If they make this female Black Panther, they only doing it to pander to a certain demographic. That's it. That's it. They're not sticking with it. And it's the same thing I felt about Batgirl. It's like people are upset that they canceled Batgirl. But if the movie is not good, then why are you upset about it? I seen Kevin Smith say something. And I like Kevin Smith, but he be saying some goofy shit now. It's like you want to be a part of this in crowd. Like he be saying some dumb shit. He says, "Oh, I don't care if the movie was shit. They should have still put it out." Why? Why? Because she was a Spanish girl? Who gives a fuck? If the movie's not good, why would you want to put it out? That makes it even worse that you put a bad movie out with a Spanish girl. And so now everybody says, well, see what happens when you put movies out with people who don't belong as that character. This is what happens. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Kevin Smith? Why would you say some goofy shit like that? You don't care if the movie was dog shit, you still would have put it out. Why? That just lets me know this is the reason why you co-signed or signed off on Masters of the Universe with killing He-Man twice when nobody wanted that, and you just went along with it anyway, and it went in the toilet. Nobody gives a fuck about it, so you just want to continue on. It's like, what kills me is all this all-inclusive shit, right? It has to be good material. You can't be just, oh, I want to be all-inclusive and the material is garbage. It has to be good material. So even if the movie was good and we seen a trailer for it and it was a good movie, then I would stand on your side and say, Kevin Smith got a point. They should have still put the movie out. But you only want to put it out because she's a Spanish girl. You don't want to put it out because basically it was a good movie. That makes them look bad. It makes them look bad. It makes them look like they're just doing stuff just to pander to people, like you are. It's just a dumb comment. That's just stupid. If it was, I don't care if it was dog shit, I still would have put it out. Why? This is that you gotta understand. This is the first time. I wish I could talk to these people. I really do. Because some of these people, they just say any fucking thing. And it's just like, oh, and y'all respect it. Y'all should call them out on that shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Kevin Smith? What are you talking about? So they should have put a movie out that was a bad movie? They already got plenty of Marvel movies that's coming out that are bad movies, and they're just pushing them out. So you want them to put more movies out? Like, come on, bro. Come on. I don't understand this shit. I don't. But again, this is what people want to do. They want to pander to this crowd. It's like, oh, see, look. It's like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares she was fucking Spanish. Nobody cares that Batgirl was Spanish. Nobody gives a fuck. We care about if the movie is going to be fire or not. We don't give a fuck if she's fucking Spanish. Who cares? It's like, oh yeah, well you ain't bring, there's no representation. Yes, it is. There's plenty of it. And if Batgirl was going to be in it, at least bring her in the right way with a good movie. Then you got these other fucking goofy movies that nobody wants to fucking see. Nobody wants to see Gotham Knights. Nobody wants to see fucking Blue Beetle. Who wants to see that? Nobody wants to. Nobody's asking. It's not in demand. Say, oh man, I can't wait for that Blue Beetle to come out. Oh man, like nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody wants to see that goofy shit. That's what I don't understand. Why are y'all still doing this? Miss Marvel girl, Miss Marvel. Nobody asked for that. This is the plan we're going with. How the fuck does that show is the highest rated show when nobody watches it? Number one, it's the highest rated as far as the rated goes, but it's the lowest rated as far as viewership. But it's the highest rated. It's like these people are just writing anything. Some of them don't even watch it. They'll just say it's good because they are part of that fucking virtue signaling. That's it. They're not just out here saying, "Oh, it's pretty good because of this." And then you got these writers who write this stuff, don't understand the source material, but they'll write it from their perspective. Oh, we're gonna change this. It's a key element. Key element. Listen, bro. I know this is fantasy, and I know all this stuff is what it is. You can't just change somebody's ethnicity in a comic book and not change everybody's ethnicity in a comic book. Because if Batgirl is Spanish and her father is Commissioner Gordon and he's white and her mother's white, what sense did that make? You just did it just to tokenize and wave the virtual signal flag. That's all you did it for. You didn't do it because this actually makes sense. It's like, oh, let's just make her Spanish. I get it. I understand that people should be included. But if you're going to make a movie like that, then make an entire new storyline where the Spanish Batgirl and her dad is Spanish and her mother's Spanish and her family is Spanish and everybody's Spanish. But you can't say, oh, well, she's Spanish and her dad is white and her mom is white. You can't do that. It's just stupid. And people see through that and they just go right to it. Now, as far as Black Panther goes, again, I don't have a problem with them making her a female because it was a Black Panther female. My biggest issue is y'all only doing it just to pander to a certain demographic. That's it. And I'm glad that they canceled that damn Batgirl. Get that shit the fuck out of here. Nobody asked for that. I'm glad that they might cancel Supergirl. Because you're not picking these people because they're good actors. You're picking these people because you're using their ethnicity to fucking bring more awareness to your company for money. You're not using it because, oh, well, they need to be more inclusive and this is just, that's it. I get it. But at the same time, what are you doing? What are we doing here? You're not doing it just for a good cause. You're doing it so this way you can pander to a certain demographic. That's it. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Rest in peace to that, man. I still think that they should have chose somebody else to be Black Panther. I think that when it comes to comic book movies, the old way is always going to be the best way. I think when you start to manipulate and change people's ethnicity and their skin color and you start to do all this stuff, you turn people off. And people say, oh, the fans need to grow up. No. These people been doing this all their life. They've been watching this and reading these books. You can't just totally exile them and tell them to grow up. And then all the people that you're pandering to, they don't know nothing about comic books and they don't give a shit about it. They just care about the virtue signaling part. Oh, the reason why I went to see it because she was Spanish. I don't know nothing about Batgirl. I didn't know that she was Commissioner Gordon's daughter. I don't know that. I didn't know that. Who is Commissioner Gordon? Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's what you're dealing with when you pander to these people who don't know nothing about comic books. You think these people are gonna flock to no? You could make them a rainbow color. Nobody's gonna flock to the fucking movie theater to see it. The core fans are gonna go see it, but you can't put that on the core fans and make them feel like they're outcast because they don't agree with what you're doing with it, and you say they refer back to the source material and say, well, you need to go back to the source material because this is this. Not to say you can't change somebody's ethnicity, but if you're going to do that, then you might as well make a whole new story. What the fuck is the point of you making a Spanish Batgirl with a white father and a white mother? That's all I'm saying. If you're going to change the source material, if you're going to change material, then change the whole thing. Say this is like Miles Morales. Do that. But again, a lot of these Marvel fans, a lot of these DC fans, especially Marvel fans, not necessarily DC fans are different. I'm going to put it to y'all like that. They're a little bit different. They're hardcore. They're way more hardcore than Marvel fans. Marvel fans, you can throw them, they can dress Spider-Man up. The piece of shit Spider-Man. They could call him Spider shit. And everybody's going to say, oh, that's the best Marvel movie ever. Because Marvel can't do no wrong. Everything Marvel puts out is the best thing ever. Because people are so fascinated by Marvel. They don't even care about whether the movie is good or not. The CGI can be off. They don't care. Black Widow was trash. And people was like, oh, this is Taskmaster was a woman, a trans woman or whatever the fuck she was. And it's like, y'all like, oh, this was pretty good. Oh my God, that was great. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But y'all always say it was good because it's Marvel. But it is what it is. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page, man.